I'm actually pretty proud of this one. Made in one day. Probably the first of these one-day games that I don't feel absolute shit like sharing. But yeah, stick around if you want to see how I made it. Otherwise, the link to the game, to the browser version of the game, is in the description. And let's get right into it. So we have our spaceship, light coming out from the spaceship. We have our turret, enemies creeping towards the player in the darkness. We need to look around to find them. And with every second, the light level decreases and we need to find power cells in order to recharge it. Not sure what kind of enemies I'll make, and I'll also have like asteroids to kind of spook the player when they see them. They kind of look like enemies, but they're not. Anyways, let's do this. Never did make the asteroids, but I did make an asteroid base, so it's something. Let's see the rigid body. Why not? Something like this. Player. And let's do an offset of x1. When you're dampening... This is me thinking that dampening decreases the speed of rigid bodies when it actually just decreases their acceleration. Try that out. Is there a way to get delta since last? I guess we're doing this in the physics process. Because, I mean, we're updating the acceleration every input, and I'm not sure how to get the delta into the input function, so we're just gonna do this, get input, and we accelerate at force, offset, vector, at central force, sine, rotation, times acceleration, times delta. Where's the dampening? It was there. I want the speed to ramp up fast and then fall. How do I do that? We'll do 500 and increase the dampening. Oh shit, it's already at 100. I swear I'm gonna realize it soon. Yeah. Oh. Just took printing the velocity. Not actually. It's not how dampening works, I guess. Left, is it supposed to be negative torque? More torque? What is happening? Interesting. Rigid body, you win again. So we're gonna lerp the velocity x from velocity x to max speed, target velocity, vector 2, sine rotation, max speed, velocity x, times target velocity x, and then we'll just do delta maybe? Do 2 times delta. Times max rotation, 0.5 per second. So we'll do, if we're going forward, then we'll accelerate forward to max speed. Speed modifier equals 0.5, and then target velocity is negative vector 2 times max speed times reverse speed modifier velocity x is lerped, and else we will velocity x 0, and then we'll do the same thing for rotation speed 0. And why is this not? Oh, rotation plus equals angular 0.2. Hey, okay, this is better. We need the vector from the turret to the mouse. So we have the mouse position minus the turret position. What would that give us? If the mouse is top left and the turret is top right, we subtract the turret position from the mouse position. We get a negative vector pointing from the turret towards the mouse, so that's what we want. Oh, there's like an angle 2 function. I should probably figure out how to use that. Angle 2. So what if we say
origin and go to mass position. Will this work? Rotation equals there and warp speed. Wow, that ain't working. Alright, we'll do whatever we had. Right, that gives us the angle radians. Am I missing? Okay, whatever. Get global transform origin and then angle. Right, so this problem I've had, I have the solution to this. Scenes over here. If absolute value of rotation degrees minus degrees. So this only actually solves half the problem, which is the fact that when we're getting an angle from a vector 2 in Godot, it returns an angle from -180 to 180. So if our angle is like 300 degrees, it's actually closer to -180, but it will attempt to go to 180, which is in the opposite direction from what it's supposed to be going. So our pointer, the fact that our pointer is rotating is messing up the... So instead of a child of the rotated parent, make sure the other node is a sibling. Mode transform, push its transform to it. Okay, so... And on the ready, we'll just set... What we're doing now is setting the turret as top level, which makes it not inherit parent's transform, which is the position and the rotation. And the remote transform node allows us to push only specific parts of the transform onto the other node. This should work. So I still don't realize it, but my turret is actually still going all the way around when it reaches 180 degrees for the bottom. I figured this out a little later and spent a long time trying to figure out how to fix it. But in the end I realized that there's actually a warp angle function in Godot which just solves this problem out of the box. We'll do a light for the player and for the turret, so we'll have a slight light around the player and we'll have a huge light around the turret. $280, so 140, 140, and that's it. Let's go into the negatives. Am I actually solving any problem with that? Okay, so I solved one of them. I didn't actually solve both of them. I see. So we're going from the positives to the negatives. How does this work? What does fmod even do? Floating point remainder, eh? Mod 2 minus from and here I try to copy someone's function and realize it's highlighted in red instead of blue. Processing. There's a warp angle. Oh my god. Oh no. I've been what have I been doing? Shit. wasted so much. Oh, what? Nice. It doesn't work. Oh. Well, at least I didn't waste like 2 hours on this, because I definitely can see myself not knowing about this function inside Godot, and then just, oh god. Why would it be shooting in a slightly different direction? Because we're moving. I want to loop it. I want to play it repeatedly, but the sound is too long. What I basically want to do here is play the shot sound and let it finish, but the shot sound is longer than the timeout on our shot timer, which is 0.2 seconds, and the sound is like 1 second. So if I were to restart the sound, it wouldn't let the previous shot finish. So what I came up with is a weird implementation, but kind of worked for me. We're gonna do some heresy right now. Shots. Audio stream player. Shot 1. Oh, fun times. So I'm basically cycling the audio stream players and waiting for the ones I started earlier to finish before restarting them again. That's what I'm doing here.
I want to try something here. I want to make another timer that will wait until the sound actually starts playing, because there was an issue in my other game where the sound actually started playing slightly later. The shots kind of didn't sound like they were aligned with the sound, so it was weird. So basically what we're doing here is, when we say play sound in Godot, when we say audio stream player play, there is a slight delay before we start playing the sound, which can be estimated with this. So we set a timer that will tell us how long it will take for the sound to actually start playing, and that way our shot spawning is way better aligned with when we play the sound. I think it was kind of noticeable. Still can't tell, I might be tripping, but I do like this better. Besides, let's see how much this is. This time to next mix is still doing that, eh? Okay, and we won't wait there. Alright, well, new enemy. We will make a teleporting enemy. couple of things that we need to do. We need to start decreasing the light level, and we need to start spawning fuel cells. Here I'm setting up the lights. We'll be switching between, and the power texture progress that I'll be lowering depending on the power variable that just decreases with our delta. The next thing we needed to do was switching between the lights. So I'm just loading the textures we'll be switching into. And then we need to switch into these textures depending on the power level. So I've set up a match statement that would allow me to check which textures we should be switching into. After this, I realized that the lights were looking kind of boring, so I decided to vary the alpha a little bit by changing it every physics process by a very slight margin, and then clamping that within like acceptable parameters. Power cell, power cell, power cell, power cell, power cell. So with this, we will basically teleport the enemy to a random position around the player at the same distance that he's already at. Position 2. Oh my god, that's so spooky. Where did he go though? Okay, so it's teleporting him too close for some reason. Alright. Then scripts. So we're gonna leave this thing behind when the enemy teleports. We want CPU particles. So what I'm gonna do here is basically have a weight for every type of enemy. Randomly spawn an enemy depending on that weight. We'll have like a random number generator on spawn timer timeout. We'll get a number between 0 and total added weights of all the enemies, and then depending on that we'll spawn Hopefully I can finish this game soon. There's a couple of things that I still need to do, like the player's not really getting hit. We'll probably add a HP bar over here, and should I put it over there? I feel like I should put it over there. Body frame equals 0. Point equals true. HP is 1.
lifetime 0.8, and one shot and explosiveness 1, and linear acceleration. So we got that going. Normal, hover, and press. Oh. So basic. Why is it doing that? Then duplicate and move it down here. Please just open up. Bases remaining plus 3. Bases remaining plus 5. And bases remaining plus 5. Goodbye.
Swither.
Oh, yes. I think this is it